Hello everyone, in this video I'm gonna build and deploy a full stack job portal system. So in this system I'm gonna create a listing job right here, and then this is a user login right here. So when I search job, then I'm gonna click view and apply, and then I'm gonna apply this job. I'm gonna fill, then I'm gonna select CV right here, then I'm gonna submit. Okay, application submitted successfully, and this is a user. So when I click save job dashboard, it will show apply, and this is a reject that I received from recruiter that they have rejected my application, and this is apply. So there's no one have accept or reject. It is just the recent application form. And then I can update this name. I can update name, and then I can update image. So I can select image. Then I click save. Okay, save successfully. And then I can view right here. I can view right here. And then I can delete this application right here. Then I'm gonna go to project right here, and then I'm gonna log out. So right now I'm gonna log in with recruiter. So this is a recruiter login. So I'm gonna log in with Google. In this project, I'm gonna create a OAuth with Google. So you can sign in with Google or sign up with Google. So this is a recruiter. So I sign in with Google account, and then I'm gonna go to dashboard, and this is a recruiter account right here. And this is application form that they have just sent me right here. And this I'm gonna click accept or reject right here. So I can click accept right here. So this application have accepted right here. And then I can create job right here. So I'm gonna test that create job. Then I'm gonna select logo. Okay, then I click post job now. Okay, right now job. This is a job that I have just created recently right here. And then I can delete job. I'm gonna go to manage jobs, and this I'm gonna delete. Then it will alert me. Then I can click delete right here. So job deleted successfully. And then we can update job also. Okay, job updated successfully. And then we can edit profile right here. Okay. And in this part, I can filter. So I'm gonna filter by name. So this is gonna be full stack. Okay. Then I can filter by location and filter by salary right here. Okay. And then filter by full time. So I'm gonna clear filters. So I'm gonna filter full time right here. Then I'm gonna filter part time, internship, contract. Okay. I'm gonna clear. This is filter by work mode, remote, hybrid, and on-site right here. And this show page, so I can show 18 job listings per page. So I can click this, and then it will show 18 listing jobs per page right here. So this is a 10 job listing. We don't have reach to 18 job. Okay, then I'm gonna log out. Then I'm gonna go to user. Okay, then I'm gonna click save job. So you see, accepted means recruiter have accepted my application right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna log out. So when I log out, then I'm gonna click apply job. So it alert you must be logged in to apply job, means you must log in in user to apply for this job right here. And then I gonna log in as recruiter right here. Okay, and then I gonna click apply job, view job, then apply now. So this gonna be only job seekers can apply, so recruiter cannot apply in this job, only user can apply. So this is a system that I have built. Okay, in this project I gonna create a job system with React, Laravel 12, Tailwindcss, PostgreSQL, and Google OAuth. And also I'm gonna use HttpOnly Cookie with JWT right here. This is a more secure. So right now I'm gonna create a project folder. So I'm gonna click new folder. Then I'm gonna name job portal project. Then I'm gonna open VS Code. Then I'm gonna select a project folder right here, job portal right here. Then I'm gonna open new terminal, and this I'm gonna create a React project right here. So the npm create with add letter, and this is gonna be job portal front end. So I'm gonna press enter. Then I can select React. Then I can select JavaScript. Then I can install npm. I click, press enter. This is gonna be create React project. So we're gonna wait a minute. So right now I'm gonna open a React project in a web browser. You see, this is a latest version of React using Vue right here. So right now I'm gonna navigate to React project. So I'm gonna delete some file. For example, I'm gonna delete app.cs right here. I'm gonna delete this. And inside index.cs, I'm gonna delete all of this. In app.js, so I'm gonna delete this. So I'm gonna delete all of this. Then I'm gonna type or FCE, then press enter. You see, this is gonna be hello world, just for example. And in main, so I'm gonna delete strict mode right here. I'm gonna delete this. Then I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna cut this. So right now I'm gonna go to browser. You see, hello world. So right now I'm gonna install Tailwindcss in my React project. So I go to Tailwindcss official page. Then I'm gonna click this document. So this is we're gonna install. So I have installed React project already, and this I'm gonna copy and install this package through npm. I'm gonna go navigate to my project in VS Code. Then I'm gonna click add, and this cd my project job portal front end. Then I'm gonna paste command line right here. Then I'm gonna press enter. You see, because I use with the later version, so right now Tailwindcss don't support with later version of 8.0. Tailwindcss support only 7, but it is the later version. Maybe a few days ago they released the later version of Vue. So that's why React don't support. So right now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install Tailwindcss through PostgreSQL. So right now I can clear all of this. Then I can type npm install Tailwindcss at Tailwindcss/PostgreSQL. This is I can install PostgreSQL package in my React project. So I can press enter. So I have installed package already. So then I can create a file under job portal front end right here. So I can create a file that name postgreSQL.config.js. Then I gonna add this line of code right here. So I gonna add this line of code, export default plugin and auto prefix. Then in index.ca in under SOC right here, index.ca, so I can add import Tailwindcss right here. So right now I gonna kill all of this. Then I gonna run npm start again. So this is gonna be cd project name job portal front end, and I'm gonna say npm run dev. So right now I'm gonna open. So the problem is I go to PostgreSQL config. So right now I confuse this line of code. So we can import this Tailwindcss right here. This is the new version of using PostgreSQL right here. So right now I'm gonna kill this. Then I'm gonna go to terminal. Then I'm gonna run React in a web browser again. Okay, and then in app, so right now I'm gonna type class name right here and VG Blue 600. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. Then I'm gonna refresh. You see, right now, so Tailwindcss have installed in React project we use through PostgreSQL right here. So right now I'm gonna create some folder under SOC right here. So I'm gonna create API folder, and then I'm gonna create another folder that is page, and another folder that I'm gonna create is component right here, and under SOC I'm gonna create another that name contact. Okay, all right. So inside a page I'm gonna create a file that name homepage home.jsh. Then I'm gonna type or ICE, press enter. Then I'm gonna type homepage right here. I'm gonna say homepage. So right now in component I'm gonna create another that is NavBar .jsh. Then I'm gonna add OICE, press enter, and this NavBar. This is the header that I'm gonna create. So right now I'm gonna install React Router DOM. Then I'm gonna add cd job portal front end. Then I'm gonna type npm install React Router DOM. Then I'm gonna press enter. Okay, so I'm gonna go to package Json right here. So you see this is the version of React Router DOM. So this is 7.13. And then in main.jsa, so I'm gonna import browser router right here. And this, I'm gonna delete this. Then I gonna replace with browser router right here. Then I gonna cut app inside browser router right here. So in app.jsa, so I gonna import routes and route from React Router DOM. And then I gonna delete this, so I gonna add this. And inside of this, I gonna add routes. Inside route, I gonna add route. This is gonna be route right here. Route, and this gonna be slash, and this gonna be path home page right here, and this element inside element I can import home page right here. So we're gonna add import home right here, home from page slash home, and inside of this I gonna import home right here. Okay, so on the top I gonna add nav link, so NavBar. I gonna import NavBar right here, import NavBar from a component, and then I gonna replace with NavBar right here, this. So right now I go to web browser, and you see this is a NavBar and this home page. So right now I gonna delete this NavBar page right here. Then I gonna add now right here. Then inside a div, I gonna add class name that bgy border b border gray 100 sticky top 0 z dash 50. Inside a now bar, so in now, and I gonna add a class name mac dash w dash 7hl mh dash auto ph dash 4 sm column ph dash 6 lg column ph dash 8. And then inside a now link, so I gonna create div right here. So inside a div I can add a class name 8-16 plus item sender justify dash between. Then I can import nav link from React Router DOM. Then I gonna add nav link right here. So inside a nav link, so I gonna add class name plus item sender gap dash to group. So inside if nav link, I gonna add span. I can add span right here. So in span, I can add class name text dash lg font extra bold text dash gray dash 900 group dash hover column text dash purple dash 600 transition duration dash 200 tracking dash type. Inside span I gonna add text, so this is gonna be job board right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser, then I'm gonna show you. You see job board. So this is the navigation. This is the header that I'm gonna create an item inside header. Okay, in this moment I'm gonna copy a code from document right here. So I'm gonna paste this navbar part 1 right here. So when you download document, so in this part you can scroll down and gonna select all of this part 1 right here. I can select this, then I gonna copy this, I gonna paste I can replace this with the copy from document. So right now you go to terminal and then you're gonna install React Router DOM and React icon. So I'm gonna say npm install React Router DOM React icon. npm install React Router DOM icon. So I have installed already. So if you didn't have installed, so you can press enter and then you're gonna go to package JSON right here. You can check the version. So my version is React icon 5.6.0 and React Router DOM version 7.13.1. So I have installed already in a previous. So if you didn't have, so you can install right here. After you have installed, and then you're gonna import. This is gonna be navlink. Import navlink link from React Router DOM right here. And then you're gonna import another this is far time icon. Far time, right? From React icon right here and slash far. So right now you're gonna check together. So this is the icon that I copy from document. So this is the icon. So that's why we're gonna import React icon right here. So and then I'm gonna create a con. This is gonna be base. Then I scroll down and save job right here. So I'm gonna minimize this a little bit. And scroll down right here, save job. So you're gonna copy from this. This is gonna be class name. You're gonna cut this, and then you're gonna paste this. And I'm gonna create another. This is gonna be active, and then you're gonna add Tailwindcss in this active. So the Tailwindcss is take purple -600 ph-3 py-2 take sm font medium right here. So maybe the problem. Okay, right here. And this we're gonna add a function right here. We're gonna say this is gonna be function. And inside bracket, I'm gonna say is active. So is active is true. I'm gonna add ternary operator, and this is gonna be active. And if false, I'm gonna say base. So I gotta import this from, you see, base and active. So, and this I gonna add save job right here. And then I gonna copy this. Then I gonna paste in dashboard right here. I gonna paste this. And this gonna be dashboard right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. You see, I'm gonna refresh. Then when I click dashboard, you see it is the Tailwindcss that I'm gonna create base and active. And when I click save job, it turn purple, means it fixed purple color inside save job, and dashboard the same. So right now I scroll down, so I'm gonna add some more. So in recruiter login, so I gonna delete this class name right here. Then I gonna replace with active and base. So this gonna be recruiter login. Then I go to web browser, refresh. You see, okay, everything gonna be fine. And another step that I gonna add the same as the desktop side. So in bottom we have mobile menu right here. So I'm gonna create a base and active for mobile as the same for desktop. So this is gonna be con, and I'm gonna say base mobile, and this is gonna be base. No, this is gonna be active mobile. So right now I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna copy from mobile right here, Tailwindcss from the class name. So save job right here. This I'm gonna copy this. I'm not gonna copy, so I'm gonna cut this. I cut this. So Control C right here. Control I use my hand, Control H right here. I cut this. And then I'm gonna paste in base mobile. This is gonna be base mobile right here. So I'm gonna delete this. And then inside a active mobile, I'm gonna add Tailwindcss block take dash purple 600 bg dash purple dash 50 ph dash 4 py dash 2.5 rounded dash xl take dash sm font dash medium. So then I scroll down. I gonna go to mobile menu right here, and I gonna check in save job right here. So this is gonna be class name right here, and then I gonna copy from the previous desktop right here. I gonna copy this, then I scroll down, then this I gonna paste this all of this right here. Then I gonna change this active mobile right here, active mobile and base mobile right here. So and then I gonna copy this, and I gonna paste in mobile inside dashboard right here. So I gonna delete this class name right here, delete it, gonna paste this. Okay, and I gonna add the slash save job, and this dashboard slash dashboard. Okay, all right. And then inside recruiter login, so I gonna delete this. I gonna delete this. I gonna paste right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. Then I'm gonna refresh. Okay. Okay, maybe better. So right now I'm gonna minimize this. I'm gonna minimize this. You see, this is in mobile side right here. So when I click save job dashboard, okay, it's much better. Okay, right now I'm gonna create a code that handle this click right here. So when I click, it's stuck with that profile. So right now I'm gonna create your state and your effect to handle this drop down menu. So I'm gonna go to VS Code. Then I'm gonna import use state and use effect right here. Use state and this use effect. And I'm gonna add you ref right here. Then inside NavBar, I'm gonna create con, and this gonna be is open, set open, and equal to this gonna be use state right here, and this gonna be false. Then I'm gonna add con right here, and this gonna be drop down ref equal to you ref right here, you ref, and this gonna be null. So right now I'm gonna go to, I scroll down, and this and bottom right here I gonna add on click, and this gonna be set open, and then open is open. So it is open is true. So I set open is false, and then I gonna put set open is true. So when I click this bottom high and Phanit and image, then it will generate to false. Is open is false, and when I click this, it will turn to true. So if it is true, I'm gonna output this right here. I'm gonna output this. I'm gonna say is open true. Then I'm gonna output this line of code right here. I'm gonna delete this. I can check this drop down right here. I'm gonna press enter, and this gonna be bracket and curly braces. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. I refresh. So you see, when I click this, it shows drop down. When I click false, it goes away. But the problem is when I click outside, it still it's still fixed in that menu. So that is a problem. When I click this, it fades away. But when I click outside, it's not go away. This is a problem. So right now I'm gonna use effect to handle this form right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna create this gonna be U effect right here, and the function and the dependency right here. So dependency is gonna be is open right here. So I'm gonna extract this. So I'm gonna create handle click outside and even listener. So if drop down red.current and drop down red.current contain even target mean false, set. I'm gonna set is open to false. But if open is true, document dot add even listener mouse down, and this gonna be handle click outside right here, and return function document dot remove even listener mouse down and handle click outside. So I'm gonna create this function to handle when I click outside, it will close the drop down menu. So right now I'm gonna go to this right here, and then this gonna be, and this gonna be rise equal to drop down right here. So I'm gonna add this, and the function handle, when I click outside, it will, it will goes away the drop down menu. So right now I'm gonna go to my browser and refresh. You see, when I click this, it shows drop down menu, but when I click outside, so it shows nothing. So maybe the problem, I will check. Okay, the problem is, so we're gonna is open and then set is open. So this gonna be set is open right here. Set is open. This is we're gonna use state right here. Is open and set is open. So right now I'm gonna go to my browser, then I'm gonna refresh and click this. So after we change this, then we scroll down and we're gonna change this too. So this is gonna be set is open right here. I'm gonna add is open right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser, refresh, and I click this profile and show. When I click outside, it goes away. So this is the function that we're gonna handle this. Okay, right now I'm gonna create a function that that handle. I'm gonna create a use state for handle mobile menu. So this is gonna be con, and the use state. So this is gonna be menu open. I'm gonna say menu open and set menu open right here, and this is gonna be use state, and I say this for right here, and then we're gonna scroll down. So I'm gonna minimize this. Then I'm gonna scroll down. Inside menu right here, and inside this is a hamburger icon. So this is fast time right here. So I'm gonna say something like menu, if menu open is true. So this is gonna be menu open is true. It will output this line of code, this icon. And if false, it will output another icon. False, so I'm gonna close this. And then I'm gonna add on click, and the function set menu open. Set menu open, this is gonna be true. So I set it false, then I'm gonna set it true. So this is gonna be true. So menu open true. It will show this line of code is true, and false, it will show another. So right now I'm gonna go to this icon right here. Then I'm gonna add another icon. This is gonna be far bar icon right here. Then I scroll down. This is gonna be far bar right here, and this gonna be the same. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste this class name take-lg, and so I'm gonna say I can add the if menu open, then I'm gonna output this line of code. So I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna output this line of code right here. So bracket and close curly braces right here. So alright, everything gonna be fine. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. Then I'm gonna minimize this right here. So when I click this, it will show, and I click this, it will show this, right? You see? So the problem is, so I'm gonna set all of this. When I click, it will, goes away the menu. So inside menu, mobile menu right here, so I gonna say something. And this, so I gonna add on click right here. I gonna add on click, so this gonna be on click function. And I say menu open, set menu open, set menu open to false right here. Then I gonna copy all of this. I gonna paste this and profile right here. I gonna paste this and login. I gonna paste this. So everything gonna be fine. Then I gonna go to web browser again. I refresh and I click this. When I click save job, it goes away. Manage job, it goes away, and login goes away. So everything gonna be fine. Okay, all right. And then the next step I gonna do is I gonna create a hero page right here. So this is home page. And then I gonna create hero page. Then I navigate to components right here. So inside component, I gonna create hero page right here. Dot. This gonna be capital hero page. So this gonna be JSA or FCE, and then right here. So right now I gonna go to document and in that .md right here. So I gonna copy HTML and Tailwindcss file inside hero section. So you download right here and you scroll down. Then you copy all of this, all of hero section right here. So this is the main section. So I gonna copy this. Then I go to hero page, then I replace this with the copy file right here. And then I gonna go to home right here, home page. Then I gonna replace this with hero section, hero page right here. So hero. So you're gonna import this hero from component, and this is the hero. So this is gonna be I need to add this, and this is gonna import hero. Okay, and right now I'm gonna go to web browser. I'm gonna refresh. Maybe something wrong, so I'm gonna inspect. Okay, so let me check. Okay, the problem is you're gonna import this file, so SRC, so you're gonna import image. So I'm gonna say import job cover. This is gonna be job cover from So right now I'm gonna go to document and inside image, this asset. So I'm gonna copy this asset right here. I'm gonna copy this, and inside SOC right here, so we have asset. So I'm gonna delete this asset, and then I'm gonna paste asset from document inside this SOC. So right here I'm gonna paste right here. Okay, so right now I'm gonna import job cover from these images. So I'm gonna set this job cover right here. So import, this gonna be a set, and this gonna be image, and this gonna be job cover right here. Job cover dot, this gonna be a JPEG. JPG, something like that. So right now I gotta go to web browser. You see, so maybe something goes well. Okay, you see, so I'm gonna explain you a little bit. So you scroll down and you see this is the array that I have created to output in a web browser. In a React, I got a map. So map we're gonna output in a web browser right here. So we have two elements. The first is label and the second is value. So I got output value inside right here, inside paragraph this, and this paragraph equal to this right here. So maybe something better. Okay, the next step I gonna do is I gonna create a trusted company. So inside this component, then I gonna create another file. This gonna be trusted company .jsa. So this gonna be right here. So I'm gonna press enter. OICE. Then I'm gonna go to document right here in .md, and you see inside below this I created registered company page. So you copy from document right here. You're gonna copy all of this, and then you go to this and replace this with the copy file right here. Okay, then I'm gonna create array that contain image. So this is gonna be company. This is array, and inside array I'm gonna create another associative array. This is gonna be OFC right here, and then I'm gonna import Facebook logo right here, Facebook logo, and this gonna be all, and this gonna be Facebook, and then I'm gonna import image from assets. So this is gonna be import Facebook logo, right here from double dot, and this is gonna be asset image, and this is gonna be, so you can see inside asset we have Facebook right here, Facebook logo. So I can say this is gonna be Facebook underscore logo dot jpg. So this is gonna be Facebook underscore logo jpg right here. So, and this is Facebook logo, okay, right here. So, and then I'm gonna import all of these images, and also I'm gonna create many array that contain many images that we're gonna import from this right here. So inside this array, so I'm gonna import many of them. Then I'm gonna import all images. So we have Google logo, Microsoft logo, Apple logo, Amazon logo, KFC logo, Oracle logo, and Tesla logo. So all of these we can import from assets. Inside assets we have images folder, and we can import each of this. And then I'm gonna create deprecated. This gonna be 3 dot and company and 3 dot company right here. So this is duplicated right here, and then I'm gonna go to home right here. Then I'm gonna import this gonna be trusted company right here, and below this hero I gotta import trusted company right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser, then I'm gonna show you the listed companies. So this is listed company, you see this is animation. So I don't have many to talk about detail or how to create these images. This is for for UI only, so it is not about how to create a real world project or the system. I'm gonna show you about how to create and process all of this job portal system, but the UI. So I'm gonna copy paste, so you can build by yourself, something like that. Okay, right now I'm gonna create a listing job. So I'm gonna go to components, then I'm gonna create a file that name listing job.jsa or ICE right here, and then I'm gonna go to document and index.md right here. So I'm gonna looking for listing job right here. So this is trusted company and this is listing company right here. So I'm gonna copy all of this, and then I'm gonna close this, and this listing job I'm gonna replace this div with my copy right here. So and then I'm gonna create a page that name filtered listing. So right here, then I'm gonna create another that say filtered listing right here .jsa, and this gonna be CE right here, and then you're gonna go to index.md. This is the document, and scroll down. So this is filtered listing right here. So I can copy all of this right here. I can copy all of this. Then I'm gonna go to filter right here. Then I'm gonna replace div with my copy list right here. So everything gonna be fine. Then I'm gonna go to listing job and scroll down. You see job card. So I'm gonna import job card right here. So in order to import, I'm gonna create a file that name job card .jsa. Sorry, I'm gonna delete this. I'm create again job card right .jsa or ICE, and then you're gonna go to index right here. So scroll down, you see job card. So I'm gonna copy all of this. Then go to job card and then replace div with existing from a copy. Okay, everything gonna be fine. Then I'm gonna go to listing job right here. Then I'm gonna import filter. I'm gonna import filter from listing job, from filtered listing right here, this line of code, and another gonna be job card right here. So I'm gonna import job card, import job card from component. This gonna be job card right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to page and home.jsa right here. So this I'm gonna import listing job right here. So we can say import listing job, and under trusted company I'm gonna import, I'm gonna drop listing right here, listing job. So everything gonna be fine. And then I'm gonna go to web browser. Then I'm gonna show you the UI in this template. Okay, now link undefined. So I'm gonna check again. So this is gonna be listing job. This node now link and job card right here. I'm gonna check. Okay, nav link. So right now I can import React Router DOM. This is gonna be nav link. Yeah, nav link right here from React Router DOM. Then I gonna check filtered listing right here. So we gonna check. So there's no nav link. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. And then I'm gonna refresh. You see everything gonna be fine right here. So that's good. Alright, so the next step I gonna do is I gonna create footer. So I gonna go to component right here. Then I gonna create a file that name footer right here .jsa or FCE. Okay, and then you're gonna go to documents and index.md. So I have a post footer right here. So you can download and update footer right here. So I'm gonna copy this part. So footer part 7. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to home.jsa right here. Then I'm gonna import footer. This gonna be import footer, and inside below this I can add footer right here. Then I gonna go to web browser. I gonna refresh. You see this is a footer. So and then I can update these images. So I gonna go to trusted company. Then I gonna copy KFC right here from here. After you copy this, then you're gonna go to NavBar and then you're gonna paste this right here, KFC logo, and scroll down looking for images. So images right here. So all right, I think that's part. So I can replace this with KFC. This gonna be KFC logo right here, and then gonna go to web browser. You see this is images, so it look better. So the next step I gonna create job detail right here in page. So this gonna be job detail page .jsh right here, job detail .jsh or SCE right here. So right now you're gonna go to document and index.md right here. I gonna create this job detail page. So scroll down and you're gonna copy all of this right here. I'm gonna click this and then copy. I'm gonna close this. Then I'm gonna replace this with this line of code. And okay, right now I'm gonna go to home page and I'm gonna go to job listing and job card, something like that. So in job card.jsa under a component, so you gonna add this line of code. So this is gonna be job detail. This we're gonna navigate to job detail / job detail right here, and then you're gonna go to app. Then you're gonna copy this, and then you're gonna import job detail. This is gonna be job detail right here, and this is gonna be job detail, and this is gonna be job detail right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser, I refresh, and then I'm gonna click this. It will show this page, detail page right here. So the next step, I'm gonna create a modal. When I click apply, it will show a page that if a filling form that you're gonna submit your name and your CV through that form. Okay, then I'm gonna create a component inside. I'm gonna create imports that contain tag area and select. So I'm gonna output into a form. So I'm gonna create a folder that name import dot. This is a folder, not a file. And inside import, I'm gonna create a file. Select import right here. .jsh. So OHCE. Then and this I'm gonna create class name mv4, and this select, this gonna be label, and this I gonna delete this, replace with class name. So class name block, take sm font medium, take dash gray dash 700 right here, and then inside select import parentheses. So I can create default value. This is a flop, so this gonna be name, this gonna be name, this gonna be label, and this gonna be value on chain, this gonna be on chain, and this gonna be option default is array, with empty array, and this gonna be required equal to 4, and I set required equal to 4, and class name equal, class name right here equal to empty string. So inside label I can say label, I can say add label right here, and require, if required true, so say if true, then I gonna output span right here, span. This gonna be span right here, and this gonna be class name take dash red, take dash red dash 500, something like that, and this star. Then and the label I gonna create select, this gonna be select right here. I gonna delete this select, and select I gonna create class name. So select I gonna create class name w dash full ph dash 4 py dash 3 take gray 700 bg dash y rounded dash lg border dash gray 200, and placeholder dash gray dash 500 transition dash all appearance dash none for curve column outline dash none for curve column ring dash 0 for curve dash border dash purple dash 500 for curve dash column shadow dash none. They're gonna be name, this gonna be name, value, it's gonna be value, on chain, gonna be on chain. Another require require, this gonna be require. This is a prop, so when I create another page and send data to this prop right here, but this prop is just default, so they do nothing. So when I create a page and then this prop will send data and to output or to send through this selection right here. So below this section I gonna add another, this gonna be option value empty string, and this disable, and I gonna say select, then I gonna output label right here, and I gonna add another option right here. So I gonna map this option, this is array, I gonna map this. So I gonna say this gonna be option dot map right here. Then this gonna be, I create op right here, op, and this gonna be function, and then I'm gonna enter this. I gonna cut this right here inside this op, right? So, and this key and value, so this key, so I can say op dot value, and value I can say op dot value, and inside this op, this gonna be op dot label. So I have create option that array, and inside this map I gonna output array of this. So we have many selection, and this I gonna map all of array element into this option right here. We're gonna receive, and then I'm gonna add key. This is a key right here, and value inside an option we have value right here, and this is a label that show the name of select, something like that. So then I'm gonna close all of this, and then I'm gonna create a text area import. So this is gonna be text area import .json. So, and then I'm gonna go to select import, and I'm gonna select all of this. Then I'm gonna copy this, and inside text area I'm gonna paste, and then I'm gonna change name. This gonna be text area. Text area import, and I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna replace this word right here, text area import, and everything gonna be the same except this value, this option right here. So this I'm gonna delete this option. So, and select, I gonna add, this is gonna be text area. This is gonna be text area. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy all of this right here. I'm gonna cut this, and then I'm gonna delete this select right here, and then I'm gonna paste this line of code, right? So this gonna be name, value, on click, on change, require, and this gonna be, I add another row require row. So row I gonna define default row gonna be 3. This is default, so default 3. So everything gonna be fine and still the same. So right now I gonna create another import. that import is tag import, so I'm gonna create tag import. This is gonna be import.jsa. So we have select import, tag import, and tag area, and this tag import right here, or ICE, right? So I gonna copy all of these. This is a tag area, so I gonna grab all of this, and then I gonna delete all of this. I gonna paste, and then I gonna change that gonna be tag import right here. Then I gonna copy this below this. I gonna paste tag import. So, and then I gonna delete this row, and tie I gonna add tie, not tie. Oh, this gonna be tie, and I gonna delete this default row. This gonna be tie. Then inside curly braces is gonna be tie right here, and this gonna be placeholder. So I gonna add placeholder, and I gonna define flop. This gonna be placeholder right here, and inside curly braces is gonna be placeholder. So all right, so everything, I think all of this have fine. So this is name. Oh, I forgot to add semicolon right here, column. Okay, the next step is I gonna create a modal. So apply job modal. So you gotta go to component right here, component, then click file. So this gonna be apply modal, apply job modal .jsa, right? So I gonna change a little bit this apply job model, right? Apply job model, or FCE, and then you're gonna go to document right here, index.md right here. So I have copied all the HTML and Tailwindcss in this file. So you're gonna go to apply modal page, part 9. So you're gonna scroll down, and I want to copy all of this. Then I'm gonna paste this, so right here. So the next step is you're gonna go to apply job right here. So you're gonna go to job detail.jsa right here, and then I'm gonna create use state. So I'm gonna import this, gonna be use state from React, and then under job detail right here, so I'm gonna create use state. This gonna be show modal, then this gonna be set modal, so equal to use state, and this I gonna define false. So default is false. Then scroll down, you have to apply right here. So button, so I gonna say on click. When a user click, it will show a apply form that you can fill your resume, your email, something like that. So this is a function. So this is gonna be set So I scroll down, not this is gonna be set show modal. Set show modal right here, and scroll down, and this is gonna be set show modal. Set show modal right here, and this is gonna be true. When user click apply, it's gonna be true, and then if true, I'm gonna import right here. I'm gonna import, so I'm gonna import apply job modal right here. So this is gonna be import apply job modal, and on the bottom right here, so on the bottom we're gonna add apply job right here. So I can add prop. This gonna be is open, and then I gonna add show modal right here. So this is a use state. So when user click apply and then is open is true, so it will open the apply job form. And the next I gonna add another prop on close. This gonna be a function. Then this function I gonna set false, so this gonna be set show modal. This gonna be false, and under this I gonna add footer, so this gonna be footer. Okay, footer. Okay, and then you're gonna go to apply job right here, and then you're gonna receive data inside parent braces right here. This is a prop, so this is gonna be is open right here, and this on close. Mean we're gonna receive this data right here. We're gonna receive this data is open and close. And then I'm gonna add a prop inside apply job modal function right here. So I'm gonna show you a little bit this line of code. Fake inset -0. It is a Tailwindcss that you know that hidden a form. So when it's open, it's true, it will show all of this. Show all the page. But if it is false, this line of code will generate, will hide entire page right here. So this is a simple. I'm gonna create a condition if is open if false exclamatory mark, then I'm gonna return null. So if false, so it will return null, means show nothing. And then you can scroll down, you can see bottom. This is header, and then this is gonna be on close. So we have a close icon right here. This is a icon and close. So I'm gonna add false. So this is gonna be on click. So on click, and this is gonna be on close. This is gonna be on close. On close if false, so we have set in detail job right here. On close function, we set show modal if false right here. So right now I'm gonna go to a web browser, then I'm gonna refresh, then I'm gonna show you this method right here. So I'm gonna click view and apply, and when I click apply now, it will show a form. You see, this is a form right here, and this is a close. This is on close, so I click, it will hide all the form page right here. So the problem is I need to add import from, we have created import tag import, so like import something like that. So I'm gonna import to job application form right here. And then you're gonna scroll down, so you see I have set this is import, so I'm gonna import tag import right here, tag import. So I can open import right here, and this is gonna be tag import.jsh. So tag import right here, and this is gonna be close. And label, I gonna say label gonna be a first name, and type gonna be type right here, and name gonna be first name, and this gonna be placeholder. So placeholder, this is gonna be first name, and required. So when we go to tag, so we have create right here name value. This is gonna be on chain, and require type placeholder, and class name. Class name we define default right here. Okay, so I hope you understand about this. And the next is another import, so I'm gonna copy all of this. Then I'm gonna place this right here. So I'm gonna change this last name. And tag, and this gonna be last name. And this gonna be last name right here. So and scroll down, you're gonna see import right here. So I'm gonna copy all of this, and this gonna be email. So I can change it to email, and this gonna be Thai email, and this gonna be email, name email, and placeholder email. So right now I'm gonna copy all of this and scroll down. Yeah, you will see import right here. So I'm gonna paste this. So this gonna be LinkedIn URL, LinkedIn URL. This gonna be I capitalize, and this gonna be URL Thai U, and name gonna be LinkedIn, and this gonna be your ad. So I gonna copy this. So this is gonna be LinkedIn. So required, I delete. It is not port required right here. So everything gonna be fine. Then I'm gonna show you in a web browser. I'm gonna refresh. Then I'm gonna click apply now. So you see name, last name, email, and this is LinkedIn, and this is gonna be a file, PDF file, means your resume, and this is URL, but maybe something went wrong, so I can check again. So the problem is you're gonna go to tag import right here, and this is import not tag area, so you're gonna change all of this. So I'm gonna delete this right. So I'm gonna replace with import and tag area, so you can delete this, and you can slash and close and go braces right here. and this gonna be you have to delete this right here and delete this. So you can write here, so this is a shortcut or import, and you're gonna close slash and go process right here. Then I'm gonna go to web browser. So you see it is a barrier. So okay, right now I'm gonna create a page that name dashboard right here inside a page. So this gonna be dashboard.json or ICE right here. So inside div I'm gonna create a class name that gonna be plate dash call min age dash screen bg dash y. Then inside div I create another div. Then inside div I gonna create a class name plate dash one overflow dash hidden. Okay, then I gonna create a file that name assign right here. I gonna put inside a div. So we're gonna go to component. So right now you're gonna go to component right here. Then you're gonna create that name assign.jsh or ICE. So then you're gonna delete this div and I'm gonna add assign right here, assign. And then inside assign I'm gonna add nav right here. Then inside nav I'm gonna add class name flex dash grow p dash 4 space dash y dash 2. And then I'm gonna import nav link. This gonna be nav link from React Router DOM right here. And inside a nav I'm gonna add nav link right here, nav link, and this gonna be navigate to, this gonna be slash. So right now I'm gonna add Tailwindcss right here. So this gonna be con base equal to, then I'm gonna copy this. So I'm gonna create con base that store Tailwindcss right here, plate item dash standard p dash 3 rounded dash lg take dash gray dash 700 hover column take dash purple dash 700. And the next is I'm gonna create a con that store active. Then I'm gonna paste Tailwindcss class right here. So this is gonna be plate items dash standard p dash 3 rounded dash lg take dash purple dash 700 transition duration dash 200. Then you're gonna go to nav link right here. This is gonna be class name. So inside this is a function right here. So I'm gonna say if active is active, is true, I gonna create ternary operator, and then I gonna output active right here. But if false, I gonna output base right here. Right here, you see this. So right now I gonna copy all of this. Then I gonna paste this 3 times. So the 1, 2, 3. So the first navigation is create job. So create job. And the second nav link gonna be dashboard. And the second gonna be manage job. Manage job. And edit profile, and the last gonna be edit profile. Edit profile right here. And then I'm gonna import icon from React icon. So this is gonna be import and var plus circle from React. This is gonna be React icon and slash file. So right now I gonna copy icon all of this. File plus circle, file user edit, file temps, file list UI from React icon slash file. And inside this I gonna create this, I gonna import a file plus circle icon right here, and then I gonna add class name. This gonna be w.6 hi-6, and then I gonna add span. Inside span, this gonna be create job, and inside span I gonna create class name. This gonna be ml-3. So right now I gonna copy all of this, then I gonna paste this right here inside it. I gonna copy inside this, and inside the edit profile right here, and dashboard right here. This gonna be dashboard. So this gonna be user file user. File user, right? And inside file user, this is I gonna say view application, right? And then in this manage job, so this gonna be file list UI. So we're gonna import file list UI, and I can change this to manage job. This is gonna be manage job, and the next step is I can change this to file. This is gonna be user edit, file user edit, and this is gonna be edit profile. So the next step, you're gonna go to document right here and index.md. So I have copy or file right here, assign profile part 10. So you're gonna scroll down and copy all of this. I'm gonna copy this, close and open side, and below now you're gonna paste this div right here. So and then, so you see I have created already, so you can copy and paste. That's alright. So then I gonna go to NavBar right here, and I gonna find dashboard right here. So dashboard right here, and then you're gonna go to application, and you're gonna copy this right here, and this gonna be dashboard. Then you're gonna import dashboard. You're gonna import this gonna be dashboard right here, and then I'm gonna change this to dashboard right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser, then I'm gonna refresh, then I'm gonna click dashboard right here. So it's so nothing. I can check this. So dashboard, this is a capital line. So you're gonna import dashboard right here, and this you're gonna insert dashboard right here inside this. So then I'm gonna go to web browser again and refresh. So click dashboard, so nothing. So, and then you're gonna go to dashboard and you're gonna import right here aside from aside page. This is gonna be aside. So aside right here, and I gotta import this aside from component, and you're gonna insert the aside right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. Okay, you see this is aside right here. Okay, so we have to import this right here. I can spell it a bit. This is gonna be Thailand hub class name p-6 take-2xl font bold border b border -purple 200 take-purple -800 plus justify between item sender. So right here, so we're gonna add a header right here, Thailand hub. So this is for desktop UI, and right now I'm gonna work with mobile side. This is a desktop side, and this is for mobile side right here. So, and then you're gonna go to dashboard right here, and inside this this is for this gonna be header for mobile. Then I can create header, and then I can create class name. So I can create a-16 flex item sender bg-y shadow-md border-b lg hidden. This is for for mobile side. If it is not for lg, mean for it's not for desktop side. And inside this I gonna create button, and inside bottom I'm gonna create class name. This gonna be p-4 take-purple -600, and below bottom I'm gonna create div, and inside div I'm gonna create a class name ml-4 take-xl font-semi-bold take-purple -800, and this gonna be Thailand hub. Okay, the next step, you're gonna go to document right here and index.md. So I have create icon, so you're gonna copy this icon right here, and then you're gonna go to dashboard. So inside bottom right here, header for mobile, you're gonna paste icon right here, and then I'm gonna create a state. So I'm gonna create import uState. And then inside of this right here, dashboard, below this, I'm gonna create con. Then I'm gonna create uState. This is gonna be is sidebar open, and this I'm gonna say set sidebar open. Then equal to uState. This is gonna be uState. I set uState false. Then I gonna create a toggle. This is gonna be con toggle sidebar. Equal to function right here. And this I gonna say set sidebar open. And this gonna be a function. This gonna be previous. Then this not previous. Right here. So I gonna set this toggle mean to opposite of this uState. So if uState is true, then toggle will be opposite. This is false. But when uState false, this toggle will be true. So right now I'm gonna create on click on the bottom right here. So this is gonna add on click, and this is gonna be toggle sidebar right here. So when I click this icon, it will, so the first is false, but when I click this, it will turn to be true, something like that. Then inside div, I gonna pass if toggle is true. So I can say e sidebar is open, it's true. E sidebar open, true. Then I gonna add div. This gonna be div. Then inside a div, I gonna create class name, and a class name that I can define. First, insert -0 z -40 bg -flag /50 transition opacity LT column hidden. So in LT hidden mean this is for mobile side only. It's not show for desktop. But in first insert -0 it is hidden. But when it is true, so it will show this line of code. And this for for click outside, and then I gonna set close the menu in mobile side. Then I gonna add this. I gonna delete div right here, and inside div I gonna add on click. On click means we're gonna click outside, and then I gonna set close. So we're gonna close. We're gonna say toggle on side. So toggle opposite of state. So if it is false, toggle, when we click toggle, it is true. But when this you stay true, toggle will stay false right here. So when I click outside, the menu will be closed immediately. And the next step is I gonna pass that that data inside a side right here. Then I gonna say is open. I gonna create open. Then this gonna be inside open. I gonna output this right here. Is assign is open right here. Is assign open, and this gonna be toggle. This gonna be toggle. I gonna pass that data inside assign. And right now I'm gonna go to assign right here. This is assign. Then I'm gonna pass that from. So we go to dashboard. This gonna be open and toggle. And inside assign I'm gonna say is open. This is a prop, is open. And this gonna be toggle. So I'm gonna copy this right here, toggle sidebar, and I'm gonna go to this gonna be toggle sidebar right here. This is in a prop. And then I'm gonna add class name inside assign right here. And then I'm gonna add this. So I'm gonna add class name in assign. So first insert y -0 -0 z -50 w -64 bg -purple -50 take -gray -700 transform transition transform duration -300 is -in -out border -or border -purple -200. This is gonna be shadow -xl LG transition, and this gonna be LG column static, LG column insert -0, LG column z0, and LG column shadow -none right here. So this is a class you're gonna add inside this. And then I'm gonna add another. I'm gonna say this is a prop. So this is gonna be if is open, it's true, is open, it's true. Then I'm gonna add this Tailwindcss translate -8-0. But if it false, then this gonna be column if false, and this gonna be this gonna be minus transition -8-full. So in fact inside -5-0 it is hidden, But when the class is true, so it is open, it's true, it will generate this code right here. And I'm gonna say is open, it's true, it will add transition dash x dash 0. So in line, so I gonna add $sign right here. And this I gonna add, this gonna be curly braces right here, and backtick right here, and this gonna be prop, and this gonna be single quote right here. I gonna add this, and then below this Thailand hub, so I'm gonna add button, but this button for mobile only, bottom. And inside bottom I'm gonna add class name LG hidden. We gonna gonna show only mobile side, and take the purple the 600. And inside of this I'm gonna add far icon right here, far. This gonna be far time right here. So we're gonna import far time right here, far time, but not user time. This is gonna be far time right here. And this gonna be size, so size and 22. And inside bottom I gonna add on click, this gonna be toggle sidebar right here. Okay, everything gonna be fine. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. You see, this is show only mobile side. When I click this, it will open this, and I click outside, it close. And also this is a far time right here, icon right here. So when I click this, it will show right. Okay, right now I'm gonna create view application in, I'm gonna create a file inside component right here. Component, this gonna be view application .jsh. Then I'm gonna type or ICE. So right now you're gonna go to document index.md right here. So I have create view application part 12. So this is a main, so you're gonna copy all of this right here. Then I'm gonna select all. Then I'm gonna copy and then go to view application. Then you're gonna replace this with the copy code right here. And then I'm gonna go to dashboard right here, dashboard. Then I gonna import view application, from components, and this gonna be in, I gonna insert view application right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. You see, this is a view application right here. So I'm gonna update, this gonna be image. So I'm gonna go to trusted company right here, and the KFC. So I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna go to assign right here. So this gonna be, I'm gonna paste this right here, KFC logo. Then I'm gonna scroll down, image, you're gonna check image right here, this. So this gonna be KFC logo. Then I'm gonna check, you see, this is, so right now I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna minimize this. Then I'm gonna check mobile menu. So mobile menu, this is, I'm gonna import this also. So then I'm gonna go to NavBar right here, NavBar, and this KFC logo, and scroll down. I'm gonna check image from this right here. So you're gonna import KFC logo, and then you're gonna go to view right here, you're gonna go to dashboard, then you're gonna go to view application, and I gonna search image. I gonna pair this with image right here. So right here, this now I gonna play with KFC logo. You see, this is KFC logo. Okay, next step I gonna do is I gonna create job page. So I gonna go to page right here, and then I gonna create this gonna be create job .jsa, right? And then you're gonna go to dashboard right here. So I gonna copy all of this. I gonna copy all of this. I gonna close it right here, and then I gonna paste. And dashboard you're gonna replace with create job. So this gonna be create job. So then I gonna delete this view, and below this right here, and everything the same. So the next step you're gonna go to document right here, index.md. So I have create a file right here. So scroll down, you're gonna see create job path 13 right here. So you're gonna copy all of this. So I gonna scroll down, I gonna select, I gonna wrap main, and I gonna copy this, then I gonna close, and I gonna paste below right here, below assign. I gonna paste right here. So and then you're gonna import right here. So you're gonna import, select import, take area, and take import right here. This gonna be import, select. So I can open this right here, select import. I gotta close this, then I gonna open this. This gonna be take area, import take area right here, and this take import. So this gonna be take right here. And so right now I'm gonna go to main. So I have create a header and h1. This is gonna be create new job and section below and a form. And then I'm gonna import, take import right here. This is gonna be job title, and select. We have department. So with department we have money. These are administration, customer service, design, engineering, finance, human resources, information technology, legal, marketing, operation, product, research. We have so many. And this we're gonna have job level. So we have intern, junior, mid, senior, lead, and manager. And you scroll down, you see take area import. This gonna be key role. So you're gonna summarize key role, and the next is responsibility, the next is skill and experience, and this gonna be location, and this gonna be work setup. So we have on-site, remote, hybrid. And you scroll down, you see take import. This gonna be work setup. We have on-site, remote, hybrid. And this part we have job type. So we have full-time, part-time, contract, internship, freelance. And the next is application deadline, minimum salary, maximum salary. And this gonna be company description, company name, company website, and this gonna be contact person, company email, company logo. And this is a button that we gonna submit a form right here. So right now I'm gonna go to app right here, and then I'm gonna import. This gonna be I'm gonna import create job from pages, and I'm gonna copy this. and I gonna name route. This gonna be create job right here, and this gonna be create job. Then you're gonna go to assign right here, assign page, and then you scroll down, you see create job right here. So you have to define the correct route right here. Okay, everything gonna be fine. Then I gonna go to web browser and I gonna refresh. I click dashboard right here and I click create job. So maybe the problem. Oh, you have to import file cloud upload icon right here. So then I gotta go to create job right here. This right here, this icon from React icon right here. So right now I'm gonna go to, I scroll down and then I'm gonna import. This gonna be file. This gonna be from React icon and the file right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser again. You see everything gonna be fine, right? Maybe we have problem with that. So the problem with display, so because of job the file right here, so I gonna go to right here, I gonna search for type import right here, job the file. So we're gonna check select import from imports right here. I gonna open select import, and then I see the problem with this right here. So we have select, and under select we have option. So that is the problem. So right now I gonna cut all of this right here, Control X, and then inside you're gonna place inside select right here, and then you're gonna change this, gonna be label right here, not E, this is A right here, label. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser, then I'm gonna refresh. You see everything cleaner than before. So the next step I'm gonna create manage job right here. So you go to pages folder right here, and then I'm gonna click file. This gonna be create. I'm gonna say manage job right here .json right here, and then you're gonna copy create job right here. I'm gonna copy all of this, and then I'm gonna close, and I'm gonna paste, and in main right here, in main I'm gonna delete this part right, and I'm gonna replace with this, gonna be manage job right here, and then you're gonna go to document right here. So I have created a file inside manage job part 14 right here. You're gonna select this is a main, you're gonna select or scroll down, you're gonna copy all this code right here. I'm gonna copy this, then I'm gonna close, and then you're gonna paste inside assign. You're gonna paste this code right here. So, and then you're gonna delete all of this. So then I scroll down, and this is icon. So you're gonna import file edit and file trust from React icon, and then you're gonna scroll up, and I'm gonna import the file edit and file trust from React icon /file right here, and then I'm gonna go to app.jsa right here. Then I'm gonna import. This is gonna be manage job, right? And then I'm gonna copy this navigation and this route. This is gonna be manage job, and this is gonna be manage job right here. And then you're gonna go to assign. You're gonna check route that it's correct or not. So I'm gonna check dashboard. Yeah, manage job, that's correct, right? And then you're gonna go to web browser. When I click this manage job, it will show maybe problem, so I'm gonna check. So, and then you don't forget to import nav link right here. This is gonna be nav link, right? Because when I scroll down, you see I have used nav link, and this is the route that I'm gonna navigate to. Then I'm gonna open a web browser again. You see this is manage job right here, so maybe it's better. So the next step, I'm gonna create edit job right here. So edit job by ID. Then I'm gonna go to VS Code and in page right here. So I'm gonna click file, and then I'm gonna create edit job .jsa. And then you're gonna go to create job.jsa right here. So you're gonna copy all of this because it is the same. I'm gonna copy this, then I'm gonna close, and I'm gonna paste in edit job right here. So we're gonna change that name. This is gonna be Control D, and this is gonna be edit job. Okay, right. And then I can scroll down. Then I gonna cut this. I gonna add replay. I gonna add div right here, and this gonna be label right here, and this gonna be image. I gonna add image right here, and then I gonna paste this right here, import. And label, I gonna delete this, replace with class name block text dash sm font dash medium text dash gray dash 700. And inside label, I'm gonna say company logo, and this gonna be image. And image, I gonna add class name, and this gonna be class name w-24 a-24 object-cover mt-2 mb-2 rounded border. And this I'm gonna output right here. Scroll down. So right now I'm gonna go to trusted company right here. Then I'm gonna copy KFC right here. I'm gonna close this, and then edit job. I'm gonna import KFC logo from images, and scroll down, and I'm gonna replace this with KFC logo, and this is gonna be company logo. And then I'm gonna delete this require, and I'm gonna delete this label right here. Expand a little bit, right? And inside import, I'm gonna add class name mt-1 block w-full cursor pointer. Okay, after this I'm gonna go to app, then I'm gonna import edit job right here. Then I'm gonna copy this route and press enter, and this is gonna be edit job route, and this is gonna be edit job right here. Then I'm gonna go to okay, and I'm gonna go to manage right here, manage job, and I scroll down, edit job. So we have route, now link right here, route, edit job, correct. Okay, then I'm gonna go to web browser, I'm gonna refresh, then I'm gonna click this icon right here, edit icon, then it will show like this, right? Okay, all right, so the right now, so after I have create edit job right here, so this is edit job mod, create new job. So I'm gonna go to edit job, and then I'm gonna change this tag right here. So this is gonna be edit job. So I'm gonna go to web browser, yeah, and right now I'm gonna create edit profile. So I'm gonna go to VS Code, then navigate to page right here, then I'm gonna create edit profile .jsa right here. So I'm gonna rename this, gonna be edit profile right here, edit profile, right? And then I'm gonna copy from edit job right here. So I'm gonna copy all of this, then I'm gonna close, then I'm gonna go to edit profile right here, then I'm gonna paste, then I'm gonna replace with edit job, edit profile, right? Edit profile. Okay, and then scroll down, you see the main, so I'm gonna delete this main, right? I don't need this. Okay, after I have delete main, then you're gonna go to document and index.empty right here. So you're gonna scroll and look for edit profile part 15. So I'm gonna copy all the main right here. I'm gonna select all of this, then I'm gonna copy this, right? I'm gonna close, and then inside and then below assign page, you're gonna paste this, right? So I need to delete this, and I need to delete this, right? So KFC logo, okay, all right. So in this part, I have take import from component right here. So take import right here, and then label first name, take name, first name, require true, and this last name, and this email. So we have created in a previous, so I just import, and this is image right here, and then you can upload your image. So, and then you're gonna go to app.jsa right here, and then you're gonna import edit profile right here, and then I'm gonna copy this route, right? I'm gonna paste, and this I'm gonna change to edit profile, and this is gonna be edit profile, right? And then you're gonna go to assign right here. I'm looking for edit profile, so edit profile right here. So I name correct route, and then you're gonna go to web browser, then you're gonna click this. You see, this is edit profile right here. So this first name, last name, and you're gonna add import email right here, and you're gonna change, and this is the previous preview of image, and then you're gonna click save right here. Okay, right now I have created a component in dashboard. So I have create job, view application, manage job, and I'm gonna click edit job right here, edit profile, so everything gonna be fine. And the next step I gonna create is I gonna create save jobs page right here. So we have nothing, and then I'm gonna go to VS Code, and right now I'm gonna navigate to page, and this I'm gonna create a file that name save job. And then I'm gonna type OSCE right here. So, and then you're gonna go to document and index.md right here. So I have import this code. So you're gonna find user profile part 16, and then scroll down. You're gonna copy, you're gonna wrap all aside right here. You're gonna wrap, and then you're gonna select all and copy this. I'm gonna close this. Then I'm gonna replace with this code inside div right here. So I'm gonna replace with aside. Okay, everything gonna be fine. And this gonna be, so I have to create a component. I'm gonna page inside a component, and then I'm gonna put this aside right here. So I'm gonna go to component right here, component, and inside component I'm gonna create user profile, user profile .jsh. Then I gonna type OSCE right here. Then I go to job. Then I gonna cut this right. I gonna cut this aside and go to user profile. Then replace with aside all the code in aside right here. And I gonna import, take import right here, scroll down, and then you're gonna import KFC logo. And okay, maybe that's all. Then I'm gonna import, this is gonna be import, take import right from imports, and this I'm gonna import KFC logo. So I need to copy. I go to trusted company right here. Then I'm gonna copy this. Inside this, I'm gonna replace with KFC logo from asset and image. And then so okay, we have replaced this with KFC. I think that's all. And then you're gonna go to save job, and you're gonna import. I'm gonna say import. This is gonna be user profile from components. Then inside, then I'm gonna create div. I'm gonna create div right here. And then I'm gonna add Tailwindcss. So this is a Tailwindcss class name w da 35% mean width 35% of all width of all 100, something like that. Auto py-10 flex call lg column flex row gap -8. And inside div I'm gonna wrap with, I'm gonna insert this right. I'm gonna insert user profile inside this user profile right here. Okay, and then you're gonna go to app right. So you're gonna import user profile. You're gonna import save job, not user profile, sorry. You're gonna import save job right here from page, and then you're gonna copy this route. I'm gonna paste, and this you're gonna replace with save job right, and this I'm gonna replace with save job right here. and then you're gonna go to NavBar right here, and then you're looking for save job. We're gonna define does it correct or not in a row. So I scroll down. So right here, this is save job, so we're gonna add slash save jobs right here, and you're gonna scroll down, save job, right? So correct. And then I'm gonna go to web browser. You see, this is a save job, this is a user profile, right? So I import full name and this email right here, and then you're gonna preview image from data right here, and then you're gonna click to change or to update portal. And the next step, I'm gonna add a listing job right here to show apply job. So I'm gonna go to VS Code, and then I'm gonna create a file that name a job, save job listing, right? So inside a component. So I'm gonna click file, and then this is gonna be apply job listing, or ICE right here, apply job listing. And then you're gonna go to document index.md right here, and you're gonna find, I'm gonna copy this right here in I put this in index.md, so you can find apply job listing part 17. So you're gonna copy all of this, then I'm gonna select all, and then I'm gonna control C right here, and then I'm gonna go to apply job listing. So I'm gonna close all of this and replace with the copy code right here section. So and then you're gonna import KFC logo. So I'm gonna go to edit page right here, then I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste with KFC logo, and you're gonna import nav link right here. So I'm gonna import this, gonna be nav link from React Router DOM, and then you're gonna go to, this is icon, React icon right here, trash tool. Okay, and then I'm gonna import that icon. So this is gonna be import this is gonna be trash tool, right? From, so you're gonna import trash tool from Lucy React, this is icon, and if you didn't import that, so you're gonna scroll down and looking for package JSON right here, dependency. So I'm gonna show you. So you're gonna import this icon trash tool from Lucy React. This is you're gonna install npm. So if you didn't have that icon, you can navigate to, this is my project name right here, job portal front-end, and then you're gonna add npm install Lucy-react. This will install all the package related to Lucy React, right? And then you're gonna press enter. Okay, so I have installed that, so I can use this icon entire project, right? So after I have created apply job listing, then I'm gonna import this page into my save job right here. So this I'm gonna import, this is gonna be apply job. So maybe I need to open that file and apply job listing, right? And then you're gonna insert that apply job right here, and then you're gonna go to web browser. So you see, this is save job listing that we have applied job, and then it alert in that save job dashboard. So this is the UI that I have created, so you don't need to create a Tailwindcss and copy all the code. So I just copy the code and apply in index.md, so you can wrap all the code and copy that code into your project, your file. So this is we gonna save time. You're gonna don't spend a lot of time on creating copy code, other code that using Tailwindcss, something like that. This is a waste time. So I just create a project and detail some of structure that I gonna show you right now. So I gonna do with recruiter login. So I gonna go to VS Code and page. So I'm gonna create a folder that name login, and inside login folder I'm gonna create a file that recruiter login.jsa right here, and then I'm gonna type or ICE right here, and then you're gonna scroll to document and index.md right here. So I have put a file. You're gonna find recruiter login part 18 right here. So you're gonna grab all of this. You're gonna wrap all of this. Then I'm gonna select all and copy. I'm gonna replace with this right here. So this is recruiter access your recruiter dashboard. So I gotta import, take import. This is gonna be email address, and this is gonna be password, and submit. So right now you're gonna import, take import right here. So import take import right here from components, and then you scroll down, you see NavLink. So and then you're gonna import NavLink from React Router DOM. So this is gonna be NavLink right from React Router DOM. So you can use NavLink right here, and this is recruiter sign up. So I will create recruiter sign up later. Okay, everything gonna be fine, and then I'm gonna go to app.jsa right here. Then I gonna import login page. This is gonna be recruiter login, and inside this I gonna copy this. Then I'm gonna paste below, and this is gonna be recruiter login route right here. Recruiter login, and this is gonna be I'm gonna insert recruiter login right here. Okay, and then you're gonna go to NavLink right here. You're gonna go to NavBar, and you can scroll down. You see this is a route name, so you're gonna define recruiter login, correct, right? And then this is desktop side, so you're gonna navigate to right here. So this is gonna be recruiter login, right? You're gonna slash recruiter login. That's okay. And then I'm gonna go to web browser. I'm gonna refresh, and then I'm gonna click recruiter login. You see this is a login form. Okay, then you're gonna go to recruiter login right here. So I'm gonna sign in with Google OAuth. Mean Google, you're gonna sign in with Google right here. In order to create that login with Google, you're gonna go to Google console cloud right here, and then you're gonna click Google Cloud and click console right here. I have created React app. This is my my Google name, Google Cloud Console name right here. And then this I have created already. I have created my Google Console name right here. And if you don't have that console name, you didn't have, and then you can click right here this is create new project right here. So I'm gonna show you. I will create new project. I can click right here. Then I'm gonna create my job portal right here. Then I'm gonna click create. So and then I'm gonna select. So we have to wait a minute, and then I'm gonna select. So this is my React app in a previous. So and this is the my project that I just created. So I'm gonna click right here, and then I'm gonna go to APIs and services, and this is gonna be OAuth consent screen right here. Okay, and then you're gonna get started with create right here. This is your app name, so this is gonna be job portal, and you name your project whatever, and this is user, so I'm gonna click Phanit. This is a user support email for user contact you with question about their consent right here. Then I'm gonna click next, and this you're gonna choose external, so anyone outside from your own Gmail can sign in Google. So you have to click right here external, and then you're gonna click next, and these your email addresses. So I'm gonna click my email addresses. These email addresses are for Google to notify you about any changes to your project. So you have to enter your email address that you can update whenever, and then Google will send you a message to confirm your update, something like that. So then you're gonna click next, and then you're gonna click agree to the Google API services. Then you're gonna click continue, and then you're gonna click create right here. So right now I have create. Then you're gonna create a credential that contain ID and client, something like that. So then you're gonna navigate, or you can click create or client right here, or you can go to API, and then you're gonna look for a credential right here, and then you're gonna click create credential right here, and then you're gonna go to OAuth client ID right here. You're gonna click this, and then you're gonna choose web application, and this this is gonna be web client 1, and this is gonna be, yeah, you name your OAuth whatever. So I name it a job portal right here, job portal. This is gonna be job portal. You can name your OAuth whatever, it doesn't matter. And below you look for authorized JavaScript origin. So this you're gonna add front end and back end. So right now I'm gonna use this, gonna be a React for local development. So right now I'm gonna copy this right here. This is for React, and then you're gonna add back end when you when you use with Laravel, something like that. So this is gonna be a back end. So I'm gonna copy this, and this is gonna be, I'm gonna change port. I'm gonna change to 3001 right here, 3001, and this is front end and this is back end right here. After you created this authorized JavaScript origin, and then you're gonna click create right here, and then you're gonna copy this right here, client ID and client secret. You're gonna copy this secret, this credential, and you're gonna copy place whatever. So I'm gonna play with this, gonna be job portal, and then I'm gonna say client ID right here, Then I'm gonna play that ID right here. And another, I'm gonna say client. This is gonna be secret. So right now, I'm gonna go to Google and then I'm gonna copy client secret right here. And then I'm gonna go to node. Then I'm gonna paste my secret right here. So then you're gonna save in your notebook right here. And this is gonna be client. Okay, after you have created credential and then you can create Google, you can sign in with Google. So I can click OK, and then I'm gonna close this. So right now you're gonna go to a file that is recruiter login right here. Recruiter login, and below this, then I'm gonna create div right here and another div right here. And the top of the div, I'm gonna add class name mb-6, and another div I'm gonna add class name border-gray-300 rounded-lg overflow hidden. So the next step is I'm gonna create, I'm gonna install Google package. So you're gonna go to terminal, and then I'm gonna cd my project. And then you're gonna install npm install react OAuth/Google add letters, and then you're gonna press enter. But in this project I have installed already, so I have tested this already, npm install. And then you're gonna, after you press enter, you can check in package JSON right here. So I have installed already. And then you're gonna look for dependency, and you're gonna see right here react OAuth/Google. This is the version 0.13.4 right here. Okay, and then you're gonna close this, and then you're gonna go to app right here, and then you're gonna import Google OAuth. This is gonna be import Google OAuth provider. Google OAuth provider from Google, I can say add react Google dash OAuth/Google right here. So you're gonna import this Google OAuth right here, and then you're gonna wrap all of this. You're gonna put all this navigation inside Google OAuth provider. So I'm gonna show you. This is gonna be Google OAuth provider right here, and then you're gonna cut all of this. You're gonna cut all the route right here, Control X, and then play inside Google OAuth provider right here. And the next step, you're gonna import client ID. So you're gonna type client ID equal to import.meta.env with Google client ID right here. So the next step, I'm gonna copy this with underscore Google underscore client ID right here. I'm gonna copy this. Then I'm gonna create env file right here. I'm gonna create env file under job portal front end right here. I can click this. Then I'm gonna say .env right here. Then I'm gonna paste this. So right now I'm gonna copy credential. This is the client ID from credential that you have just created with Google sign in right here. And then I'm gonna grab all of this. I gotta grab client ID right here. So you have to copy all of this, and then you're gonna go to your project, and inside .env you're gonna paste this credential right here, client ID. And then you're gonna navigate to app. So you have add Google OAuth and env right here. So right now you can do Google OAuth with your project, your entire project. and then I'm gonna go to recruiter login right here. So recruiter login and this right here, so I can use Google OAuth. Okay, and then you're gonna import Google login. So I'm gonna import, I'm gonna say Google login from at Google OAuth / Google right here. Then inside this, I'm gonna add Google login right, and this gonna be, then I'm gonna add shape, this gonna be rectangular, this gonna be rectangular, right, rectangular right here. So everything gonna be fine, and then you're gonna go to, and then you're gonna kill all of this, and then you're gonna go to terminal, new terminal, and then I'm gonna refresh by opening front end URL. This is gonna be job portal front end npm run there. This is gonna be refresh your entire project, and then I'm gonna click right here, it open. Okay, the problem is Google OAuth provider, so I'm gonna check with I'm gonna go to app, and this is gonna be Google OAuth. We're gonna add you right here, Google OAuth, and this is gonna be Google OAuth. You Google OAuth right here, you, and this is gonna be Google OAuth. Right. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser, then I'm gonna refresh. Okay. So and then I'm gonna click recruiter login, so it will show sign in with Google. Then I'm gonna click right here, so it will open Google sign in right here. Okay, right now after I have create login page, then I'm gonna create register page right here. I'm gonna click this, then it will link to sign up page. So I'm gonna go to VS Code, and then inside for the page we have login folder, and login I'm gonna create a file that name recruiter sign up, right, .jsa. And then you're gonna type or HCE right here, and then you're gonna navigate to document and index.md. So I have create recruiter sign up part 19 right here. So you're gonna grab all of this. I'm gonna select all, and then I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna close this, then replace with the code that you have copied from sign up right here. And then you're gonna import, take import right here. So I can import, take import from components, and then you scroll down, you see nav link. So then I'm gonna import nav link from React Router DOM. Right here, and then you're gonna go to app.jsa, then you're gonna copy from this, right? You're gonna copy from this, and then you're gonna replace with sign up, recruiter sign up, and then you're gonna import recruiter sign up page from login folder, import recruiter right here. And this you're gonna replace with recruiter sign up, right? And then you're gonna navigate to NavBar, and you're gonna navigate to recruiter login and scroll down right here. You see don't have account right here, nav link, and this is the route name. You're gonna define the same as you have created in app.jsa right here. Okay, everything gonna be fine. Then I'm gonna go to browser, and then I'm gonna refresh and recruiter login, and then I'm gonna click register right here, and then it will show recruiter create account right here, and then I'm gonna go to back. Okay, everything gonna be fine. Right here, user login. So I'm gonna go to recruiter login, then I'm gonna copy all of this. I'm gonna close this, then I will replace with recruiter login, then I'm gonna change that name user login. So we scroll down, this is gonna be user login. Okay, and then I'm gonna change this to be user login. Right here. This assess your save job right here, and I can scroll down. So everything gonna be the same, and I'm gonna change this to be login as user right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to app right here, and I'm gonna copy login right here. I'm gonna paste this, then I'm gonna import user login from login folder, and I'm gonna change the user login. User login right, and I'm gonna replace with user login. Right. So then I'm gonna check in NavBar right here. I gonna search for user login. Right here, so we're gonna replace with slash user login. This is desktop, and I'm gonna scroll down looking for mobile site and recruiter and login. This is gonna be the same right here, so everything gonna be fine. Then I'm gonna go to web browser. I'm gonna click login right here. So user login, I say your save job right here, and then I'm gonna create register right here. User register, user sign up. So then I'm gonna go to login folder right here. Then I'm gonna create another file that name user sign up.jsh right here, and then I'm gonna copy recruiter sign up right here. So it is the same. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste right here, and then I'm gonna change that name to be user sign up. Right. Then I'm gonna change tag. This gonna be user create account. I'm gonna scroll down, sign up, right? And this gonna be recruit, not recruiter. It's gonna be, and then you're gonna change this with user login right here. Then I'm gonna go to app, right? And then I'm gonna import first. Import user sign up from login, and this gonna be, I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste and replace with user sign up. and replace with user sign up right here. Right. So then I'm gonna check in a web browser. I'm gonna refresh and then I'm gonna click register. You see, so maybe something wrong. So I'm gonna log in, user login and register. Recruiter, maybe I forgot to change. So I'm gonna check in user sign up, right? User login. So you're gonna edit this by add user sign up, right? User sign up. Then you're gonna import user sign up right here. So then I gonna go to web browser again. I'm gonna refresh. Then I'm gonna click login and then register. User create account, right? So that's correct. Okay, in this moment I gonna install JSON server and a CS API. So I gonna go to terminal and then I gonna cd my project. And then you're gonna type npm install json dash server. Then I'm gonna press enter. And the next step, you're gonna install npm install as shows. So I'm gonna press enter. Okay, and then you're gonna check in json.package.json. So you will see dependency, right? So I have installed JSON server and a source right here. So the next step is you're gonna create a file in API. So I'm gonna click file and I'm gonna name it as shows.js right here. So the next step is you're gonna import a source. I can say a show from this gonna be a source right here. And I'm gonna create API. So I can say con API equal to, and this shows dot create, and I'm gonna add curly braces inside bracket, and this is gonna be base URL. Then I'm gonna import env from .env file. So and I can say import dot meta dot env, and this can be auth with API URL right here, and this gonna be with credential right here, and I set true. This credential mean apply all the files. So I use API with HttpOnly Cookie. So I will create a backend that connect with React. So this is a HttpOnly cookie that I'm gonna use in this project. Then I'm gonna export, and it's gonna be default API right here. So I'm gonna go to .env file right here. So I'm gonna create a API. So with API URL right here, localhost 3001, and with base URL localhost 3001 right here. And then in API, I gotta import right here env file, right? Import from with API URL. So then I gonna minimize this, and then you're gonna go to listing job right here. You're gonna go to component, and this is gonna be listing job. So I'm gonna create new effect that gonna fetch data from JSON server right here. So and this I can say, and I'm gonna import u effect from React, and I'm gonna import u state from React right here. Then I'm gonna add con, and this gonna be square bracket and job. I'm gonna use state right here, and then I'm gonna say set job equal to use state. And inside bracket I'm gonna add square bracket. This gonna be empty array right here. Then I'm gonna add con. This gonna be loading. I'm gonna set loading equal to use state. Then this gonna be true. Then I'm gonna add another con. This gonna be error. Set error, and this gonna be use state. I'm gonna set false. So this gonna be null. So use error gonna be null. Then I can add u effect right here. U effect, and this can be function and dependency right here. So I'm gonna add that, and then I'm gonna add con. This gonna be fetch. This gonna be fetch job right here equal to, I use assign await right here. Assign await, assign this function. It's gonna be arrow function, curly braces, and inside it I can set loading. Set loading. I'm gonna set this gonna be true. Then I'm gonna add error. Set error, and error gonna be null. Then I'm gonna use try and cache. This can be try and cache right here. In try I'm gonna add con. This can be right equal to await dot, this gonna be get. So in order to use get from API, so you're gonna import API, so I can open this right here. Then I can say API. So you're gonna import API from API folder, and it shows right here in this file. So I can close this, and then we can create API. So this is gonna be I'm gonna get data from API, or I can say fetch data from API, and this gonna be backtick, and I'm gonna add slash job. Okay, so assign, and this gonna be await, and this gonna be API. I'm gonna import API from right here, and then I'm gonna set job, and this gonna be res dot data. I can say or empty string, empty array right here, and the bracket not square bracket. This is bracket, right? Okay, so if that data, if no data, so I can output empty array, and if there's data, so it will output res data, and inside set job right here. So we're gonna use job to output data. And in catch, I can add error, and this gonna be console. I can use console.log, and I can say this gonna be error, and this gonna be error, right? And then I'm gonna add another finally right here, and I'm gonna set loading. This is gonna be set loading fail. So mean we execute the code if it run or goes to error. Anyway, we gonna set loading if fail, because loading is true in default previous right here in use state. And then finally we're gonna set loading fail. And then I'm gonna call fetch job from a function, and it's gonna be fetch job right here. Okay, finally I can use fetch job inside this right here, inside job card. So in this I gonna map, so I can say job dot map right here, and map I gonna add job, and this gonna be function. Then I gonna cut that function right here. I gonna cut that job card inside this map. So this not curly braces, this a bracket, not curly braces right here. And this gonna be key. That key gonna be job.id right here. So maybe something wrong, right? And this gonna be job equal to job. I'm gonna map job, mean I gonna access that data. So this gonna be map, this gonna be job, because I'm gonna map that job to job card right here. So I'm gonna set that data into job card page. So right now I'm gonna go to job card, right? And I'm gonna flop that job. I can say job right here. So I'm gonna minimize this. Then I'm gonna add data into this. This is gonna be job dot company logo underscore URL. This is gonna be URL. I can say if have company logo URL true, then I can output this. I gonna output these images. I gotta cut this inside this right here. So this gonna be bracket right here, and this gonna be bracket. And I gonna say if false, I gonna output this right here. I gonna cut this SVG right here inside this bracket. So I gonna interspace a little bit right here. So if have logo, I gonna output image. I mean I gonna output logo, and false I gonna output SVG that that I gonna have set some style in Tailwindcss right here. And then you're gonna scroll down, and this gonna be job title. So you're gonna delete this, and it's gonna be job.title, and this gonna be I can say job.company name right here. Sorry, not right here. So I gonna copy this, then I gonna paste this right here, company name right here, and this gonna be job dot description, and I gonna say dot key role underscore key role. And if I can put question mark right here, if null it show nothing, and if true it's output key role right here. and this gonna be location type. So this gonna be job dot location underscore type, and scroll down you see salary, and this gonna be job dot, this gonna be min salary, min underscore salary, and this I gonna output this job dot max salary underscore max salary, and this gonna be Laravel, so I can say job dot Laravel, and this gonna be job detail, so I can say slash, this gonna be, I gonna add backtick right here, backtick, and I gonna map this dollar sign right here, and this gonna be job dot id, and this I gonna add curly braces right here, so add curly braces and backtick, so we can map job id right here, apply, and then you're gonna go to document right here, document, and you're gonna add JSON, this data from a JSON file. So I have created that a data, so you can download, and you're gonna copy all of this. So you're gonna create a file that name data.json inside job portal and front end right here. So I can say db.json right here. Then you're gonna copy all of this, go to document and db.json. So I gonna wrap all of this, I gonna close, and then I gonna go to db.json inside front end, I gonna paste this. Okay, and the next step, you're gonna copy images right here. You're gonna copy all images. I'm gonna copy this. You can download, and you're gonna do this as the same. I'm gonna copy this. Then you're gonna go to public. Then you're gonna paste images inside public. I'm gonna paste right here, and this is the images. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser. Then I'm gonna refresh. There's no job. So, and then you're gonna go to job card right here. Then I'm gonna import default logo from asset right here, asset images, and default logo inside SOC right here. This is asset and default logo right here. So I can set this is gonna be job dot company logo URL. If have, we output logo, and if not, we can say, or we can import default logo right here, and this is gonna be job dot company name, right? And then you're gonna add another error. If error, you're gonna output default logo right here. And then you're gonna go to package JSON, and this right here in script. Then I can add another, this gonna be semicolon server. So I gonna run JSON server watch _watch db.json port 3001 right here. So we're gonna run server a JSON, and then this is serve a API backend. So right now I'm gonna go to terminal, and this is gonna be, I can say npm run server. I'm gonna press enter. So it will, it will run API a JSON. This is gonna be localhost 3000 right here. So right now I'm gonna go to web browser again. I'm gonna refresh. So you see it output the job and images because I have created image in in public images. It import that image from public right here, and the data from db.json. You see we have 8 data, we have 8 jobs right here, 10 ID right here. So this is gonna be show 10 jobs listing right here. Okay, right now I'm gonna show you how to deploy React project into Vercel. So in order to deploy that project, you're gonna go to GitHub, and then you're gonna create new repository right here. You're gonna click right here and then new repository, and then you're gonna name your project. This is gonna be job portal. Then I'm gonna add private. I'm gonna put add private right here. You can public or private, but private is more secure, so I'm gonna create new repository right here. Okay, and the next step, you're gonna go to VS Code and you're gonna go to terminal. Then I'm gonna cd my project. This is gonna be job portal front end. The next step is you have to add .env into gitignore. So you go to gitignore right here, and then this is gonna be .env, and don't forget to add build, and then don't forget to add dist, and then don't forget to add another. I'm gonna check node module right here, node module. So 1 2 3 4, but the most important is if you don't want other, you can only put that file .env. This is important, so don't forget to add .env file into gitignore. You can ignore this file, but env file is important. So I hope you understand about this. And then you're gonna go to terminal, and then you're gonna add git, and then initialize. So we can say git init, then press enter. And the next step, I'm gonna say git add dot press enter. And then the next step, I can say git commit dash and this is gonna be common. We can comment. This is gonna be initialize commit right here. Okay, and then you're gonna press enter. Okay, and then you're gonna go to your GitHub account, and you're gonna navigate to this point right here. You're gonna copy this, and then you're gonna go to VS Code and paste right here. This is a project for the nav link that you want your VS Code to push that project, that React project, into GitHub inside job portal right here. So, and then I'm gonna press enter. And the next step is you're gonna add git brand, and my brand is and my brand is main. So don't forget to check your brand. Your brand is main or other brand, but for my brand is main. So, and then I'm gonna press enter, and then I'm gonna push that project into GitHub. So I can say git, and this is gonna be push, then the and then origin, and then main, my brand name main right here. Then I'm gonna press enter. Okay, everything gonna be fine. So then you're gonna check your project inside your job portal folder in GitHub account right here. Then I'm gonna refresh. You see, this is the project code that you push from your VS Code into GitHub right here. And then you can see we don't have .env because .env inside gitignore right here. So we're gonna hide that env because it is important that you're gonna put your env file inside ignore to prevent credential. So the next step, you're gonna go to Vercel. You can add vercel.com and then you're gonna sign up. So for my recommendation, so you're gonna sign up with GitHub account. It is easier for you to push your project to deploy your project from a GitHub account into Vercel, something like that. After you sign up with GitHub, so you're gonna go to new and then click project right here, and then you're gonna, this is GitHub account right here, so you're gonna add GitHub account right here. If you don't have, you can add right here, and I'm gonna zoom in, and then you scroll down and looking for select repository. So I have many repository, but I have just created job portal repository, so I'm gonna deploy this project into Vercel right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna click save. Okay, so right now my project appear in this dashboard right here, and then you're gonna click import right here and navigate to this. Vercel have created npm run build, so you don't need to run npm run build. And the next step is you gonna flip this, and this is using with, so scroll down and then you're gonna open environment variable, and this point you have to copy your environment. You're gonna copy all your environment and place in this key right here, key value here. So and then you're gonna go to VS Code and .env, so you're gonna copy all this .env, and then you're gonna go to environment variables and you're gonna paste right here. So we have 3 variables, and then you're gonna click deploy. So okay, I'm gonna click deploy right here. Then we're gonna wait a minute because it will loading soon. So right now I have successfully deployed my React project into Vercel right here. Then I gonna click continue to dashboard. You're gonna click right here. Okay, and then you're gonna open your browser. You're gonna click right here, deployment, and this is your domain, so you can click this right here. You see, this is your project deploy in a browser.